They want to even pull off a core weaver here. If they put Konka in the off lane, for example, for Blizzy, we've seen Blizzy play it quite a lot. They could still go carry weaver and decide what to do here with their fourth pick, but I guess it comes down to what Gambit picks next.
It's unlikely, but today in the upper division, in Division 1, a carry weaver was played. So it wouldn't surprise me, but still, a weaver is most likely going to be in the support role, especially with the Bane being banned out. You kind of want to invade the enemy jungle. Gambit, they go for an Oracle. That's an interesting one. It is a save for the Death Prophet, one of the best combos, if not the best hero to go with the Death Prophet with the Spirit Siphon. You just heal so much, but this hero doesn't provide so much in the laning phase unless, of course, he's laning against the Elder Titan, where you take away his Spirit, and then the Beastmaster will actually have a good lane. So I'm liking this this approach from Gambit. I'd actually love to see something like a Raid King as well. A lot of damage. He doesn't care that much about his armor being taken away. Not an agility hero that you talked about. And Oracle, he wants to have one target for the False Promise. Having the Raid King, it will allow him to just focus on the DP. And of course, we know that Smiling Knight, this guy got popular. He got good on the Raid King himself. He has like 2,000, 3,000 games. I'm not even sure.
Kind of running out of time here as well. I'm thinking about between the TV and the wait, what was I looking at here? The Terrorblade was something I really wanted to see. Maybe even the Luna, even if they have the Elder Titan up against them. And I do want to come back to that Weaver pick. There has been one safe lane carry in Division 2. I don't know which game it has been. Didn't look that accurately up, but there is one out of these 14 Weaver picks being played as a carry.
5 seconds remain.
So I wonder they could still go for it. Oracle and Lion, though, I feel like when you see this Lion pick, you're very scared to play a carry Weaver in this game. You're squishy, you're easy to kill, you don't exactly have a save. He likes to play alone, likes to move around the map a lot. So that's a lot of things you're going to be careful for.
But you are also a Linken's carrier. You're a Linken's carrier on the Weaver, so it's okay when you look at the heroes of Gambit. They would like to... you can't really break the Linkens with the Oracle. You want to blink in with the Lion or the Beastmaster, and then the Linkens will prevent you from actually getting the grab. And when I look at Gambit, this Lion, to me, the supports of Gambit, they should be in the back. They should be in the back. Once that Prophets get super strong and Hydra, they go for the PA. So it's all about burst damage right now, but it's not going to be in the early game, but it's going to be once the PA actually gets online.
So they're picking a PA into the Oracle. So even despite the disarm being out there, Phantom Assassin still has a lot of damage to provide and give. The laning stage is pretty decent as well. You have a way to bully the boars, get rid of those two with the dagger slow combined with either the Weaver or the Elder Titan, thinking about the AT maybe in this case. So the lane is okay now. The lane is actually pretty okay now. At least for the start, you get a good role for yourself. Early levels, you can then rotate to jungle. ET is going to be making stacks too. Talking about stacking, let's see if I have that number up here somewhere. Looking at the stacking averages, HYDRA has 12 per game, Gambit 9.9. So might even see some stacking action for the Phantom Assassin. Do you think we're gonna go Battle Fury?
Yeah, Battle Fury is a necessity right now. So you have to go Battle Fury, and I think straight into a BKB in this game. Going for a Deso. Not bad, but not being able to commit for a target is a problem. You want to have a BKB once you're like level 15, 16, maybe join the big fight, you know. Before that, you'll try to steal a few kills, and when you have level 18 plus your BKB, that's where the PA actually becomes stronger. But you want to have the BKB just as insurance so that you do survive. Overall, HYDRA, I think this is one of those hard to execute drafts that they tend to go for, because you go in, you go out, you go in, you go out, and Gambit having the Oracle, until the PA is ready to cut someone down, I don't see this Death Prophet dying, and she's gonna be the frontliner. So HYDRA, I think they're drafting themselves into a bit of a pickle here. It's gonna be a tough one to execute for sure.
I guess they still have some kind of a cheese remaining there for their final pick. Gonna see Gambit's pick first, so they get rid of the TA, recognizing we don't really have proper tools to destroy the TA shield. So this would be a whole different game to take an approach on the Templar. But what does Gambit want to bring out? Who is going to be the hard hitter to go with the Beastmaster to provide the aura, the Oracle for the save? There is the Morphling. So not too many Morphling picks as a carry picked in Division 2, but this one definitely has a Morphling player. We're looking at Smiling Knight.
I'm scared for this Morphling, I have to say. All of his armor will be taken away by the ET. Oracle, it's all nice, you have the save, but will you actually be able to use it? Gambit, with the way that they played the previous match, they played a bit on the defensive side. So I'm scared if they're gonna actually go forward once they see that they're stronger. If they do, this lineup is gonna make sense. But if they play like they did in the previous one, let's say, okay, we're gonna farm our Morphling and not just push in towers with the DP Beastmaster, it's gonna be a tough one.
Well, I hate to interrupt you here, but I do want to say if Gambit played 2 unique heroes to their draft last game, HYDRA are playing 2 unique heroes to this entire. Well, they're actually playing 1 and Gambit's playing 1. So 1 entirely new hero, uncontested heroes added to the pool. The Oracle for Gambit, the Wind Ranger for HYDRA. So that's a new one which we have not seen during the course of Division 2 here in Eastern Europe. So what do you think with this Wind being picked up? There's a Morphling on the board. Does HYDRA go for 2-0 here with this lineup? You said it's not easy to execute, but you're still worried about this Morphling on Gambit's side. So there's ups and downs on both ends.
I'm worried because of the way that Gambit played in the previous match, how they slowed down when they should have pushed forward. But if I'm going based on the draft alone, I'm going to favor Gambit so much here. The Oracle is just so powerful. You have the Weaver to go into the backlines, but, you know, running into the Lion, you're always going to get destroyed. You have the Death Prophet to be in front. You have the Vision for the Beastmaster, so the Vision game is there for Gambit. The Oracle, he purges off the Elder Titan in the laning phase. He purges off the Wind Run during the mid game for the Wind Ranger. So before Askel has a BKB, he is in a ton of trouble. So I don't know. Gambit, they have jump, they have save, they have tower push, they have some late game potential, they have timing. On the other hand, HYDRA, they have this PA, and they're like, okay, these 4 are constantly going to be poking and prodding until the PA comes in and cuts someone down. To me, it is not enough. And if Gambit play this one properly, I think they got game number 2 in the bag.
Well, we'll see about that. Our second game between Gambit and HYDRA is about to kick off here with T-Panda and here at Freak on the commentary. And we have filled you in with all the necessary information required for the drafts. Now it's up to make your minds. Are you a Gambit fan or are you a HYDRA fan? For a quick recap, and obviously for all of you new people who've been joining as time has been passing in the course of the series, we did play a very long game, number 1. HYDRA is playing for a spot in the upper division, or the first division. So they are still in the top 3. If they win this one, the battle continues for a 3-way possible tiebreaker. The series after this one is also going to be interesting because CIS Rejects is doing exactly the same thing as HYDRA. They're both 4-1, looking for the 5-1 to tie up V Gaming, who are 5-1. So we've had 3 teams with the same scoreboard, and that means for for the final week next week, HYDRA's going to be playing against CIS Rejects, so that one's really going to be a decider of who actually goes to the first division or not. And then there's also a V Gaming series still remaining. But for Gambit, their situation is a bit different, Harry.
Yeah, their situation is if they lose this one, there is a chance for them to drop down. Of course, they still have one more series in Fantastic 5. They have to beat Bait, who did win a game against the V Gaming, so they are kind of gaining momentum a little bit too late. But still, they definitely want the victory right here, even though in this game, it's going to be very important that they win with a draft like this, just because it will give them a boost of confidence. And I kind of expected Zayats to be swapping out the lanes here with the Weaver, but actually he's going to be laning on top, and it will be Pentomem on the Oracle. This is a really good lane for the Oracle and the Beastmaster. Usually the PA is okay against the Beastmaster, but when you don't have a hero that can run in and Elder Titan against the Oracle, he cannot. It's going to be a tough one.
Looking at this bot lane quickly, Mika's already placed down an aggressive lane ward to snipe some couriers. So this is going to be the Weaver's job to try and hit in the back where it hurts the most. And he's going to see that first courier roll in too, which is going to be Lion's salve, unless Lion's able to detour or reroute this courier into the jungle side. He's also used a sentry ward to try and get rid of a potential block from Mika. He's walking in with a sentry. They just bypassed themselves as he's walking in for the courier. He's found the sentry. He's going to get rid of it. Plus, get that extra gold. Oh, Lion's moving the courier away. Trying to make a run for it, but Mika's on the hunt. And there we have it.
Yep, he has gotten the Kerr, and Seiyu is not gonna be too happy about that one, especially when you have a Morphling here. The Kunkka, he applies a lot of pressure, and Hydra, knowing that there's no salve in this lane, they should be going a bit more aggressive before the Morphling hits level 3. Even when he does, just making sure that he has less damage will definitely be of significance. But still, Gambit, despite all of that, they will just keep themselves away, keep the lane in a good position, and it seems like Morphling will not suffer that much. The career will be up in 30 seconds, should be enough for Smiling Knight to stay healthy until then.
That's also not only just staying healthy, but that also means that Lion's not gonna get that proper D-ward right away, because he's kind of locked into this lane too for now. At least there's a tiny opening here that this Lion can now walk out to find that sentry ward. But Muka's also doing some nice movements here, and that sentry is also too far away, so he's not gonna be able to find this sentry. That camp continues to be blocked. So that's 100 gold. Or 50 gold, or pretty much sentry gold anyway, down the drain for Seiyu.
He did block the big camp, so that's a big thing. You are playing against the Kunkka, he's constantly going to be pushing in the wave, which means Morphling will be farming, which is okay for Gambit. Lion and the Morphling, these two heroes, they don't have enough damage to kill anyone. Morphling packs a punch, but the Lion, this hero pretty much does nothing. So I think Gambit are going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Trading the units not being spawned on both ends. Closing up on 3 minutes. We did get our first blood fairly early into game number 1. But we did not get too many succession kills right after that. So the first 5 minutes was very calm. I believe we might see a repetition of that. Right now, HYDRA, again, just like in game number 1, they were a couple CS ahead of their opponents in the early minutes. But Afterlife looking to maybe lose his life. Yeah, he's very low. Dream, daggers available. Gonna throw it, but the stick charges will keep them up. That's still a heavy price for this Beastmaster. Giving away a couple boars. They've used up the salve now from Pantomim. And Dream is getting a lane for himself. Almost level 4 in PA.
So in terms of CS, HYDRA are really doing well in this one, and considering they need to poke and prod, they don't really have too much of a burst potential. It is important that their lanes are going well, so it's quite nice for them. This will allow the Weaver to be a bit more annoying around the map. Okay, he will get the D-ward there. He really wants this pull. It is not what you want to happen for the Morphling to have creeps under the tower at all times. And Smiling Knight, he is getting a decent amount of farm.
Yeah, he's just going to use that sentry to drop it in the middle of the camp to cover the most area for that D-ward. So obviously we'll find that one. Easy camp not spawning. Hard camp has spawned. Blizzy doesn't get to connect it. Does Seiyu get the hard camp to cooperate? Centaur's running. Well, he's got the range creep for it, so might as well just pull the entire wave to connect there as well, because they're doing all the hard lifting, all the hard work here.
We haven't talked about the mid lane matchup at all in the previous game or this one. There's always been some brawling in the side lanes, and actually the Wind Ranger is usually a pretty solid laner. What is he getting out? Is it gonna be a javelin rush from Asgold? Not really. No, he's just going for a Gloves of Haste. So Asgold isn't looking to get a kill.
I'm not sure how well you actually know. Oh wait, Weaver dropping low on the bot lane, 7 HP, and Smiling Knight has got that bug on him, so he can't get the A click down on the ground to hit the Weaver. Instead, it hits the bug. So talked with my Finnish colleague. Well, don't know if you can actually say colleague because he's the player and I'm the caster, but MTD, who actually loves to play a lot of mid Wind Ranger. Another talented Finnish mid player, actually playing in the Western European Division 2. He usually always is like, yeah, you want to get that double Nell Talisman and then start to look at your options. He plays very aggressive with the hero too. I think he's a lot of fun to watch as well when he plays the Wind Ranger. But I'm not sure when you want to go for the Javelin and when you don't. That's kind of something that you might maybe help with opening up. Like, when is a Javelin game, when is not a Javelin game?
The only reason to go for Javelin is if you're certain you're gonna get the kill. So if you can get it super fast, get it out super fast. And the Asgold, Meliul is just not an easy kill though. If he gets help,
Meliul not an easy kill. 3 men rotating onto him, but surviving with those siphons. And this is the Wind Ranger gonna be in trouble. Does have the Wind Range to block the right clicks from the tower, and even swapped away with the help of Muka. So neither side actually gets a kill. So I was kind of suspecting something like this to happen when you're looking at these high-ranking mid-lane players against both of each other's. Meliul leading. Asgold, I don't think he's too far away. It really comes down to the supports making the difference.
Yeah, it's usually that way. Any mid player should have a decent laning stage. If a mid laner gets destroyed in the lane, that is a problem because you know, mid laners sometimes they even play 1 versus 1, so they should know all of the matches in and out. The Wind Ranger might be a bit of a surprise to Meliul, but it is still not a hero to pressure that Prophet. You will just max out your Crypt Swarm and you'll still get a decent amount of farm.
And also, surprise or not, I'm pretty sure Meliul has played his fair share of Wind Rangers in the mid lane up against, or maybe even playing the hero itself, but not your most common hero to see in the competitive scene, at least. I would like to see Wind Ranger more and more oftenly picked into these because it provides all of this this high capacity threats basically, and you have like these very fast moments happening. Blizzy diving under the towers and all the way to the tier 2 tower inside the trees. There is a Kunkka. Oh, X-Smart not there, but they got the Hex from Sayu. So this Kunkka might just be first blood. Tower's going to be taking it, so that's a split. 303 gold for these 2 cores. Or the support and the core even.
That is a big kill. He was topping the network chart before this one, and the thing is, Kunkka was getting too fat. And he's still gonna be super fat, but he used the TP, so is still gonna be wasting some time, a long walk back to the lane. The problem with when you look at Gambit, if the Oracle doesn't have a lot of levels, their burst potential isn't that high. And let's say he uses a boat, the finger just won't be enough. Sayu, though, talking about the finger, is he might be on the receiving end right now.
I kind of like the idea that you don't have to force the Javelin because you've got the minus armor provided by the Swarm, so that's going to be ticking armor per attack very fast, and then you have this basically your focus fire that just provides so much damage with the minus armor given as well. So I kind of like the whole number of such minus armor into damage despite having damage reduction on top of you. It's just a great equation. Zayats being poked by Afterlife and Pantomime. They're going to use the Roar for this ET. They have the body blocks too, but they're not going to need it here. Afterlife gets his first of the day. Well, I guess night in this case, since we're 8 minutes already in.
And Gambit, last game, they had no kills 12 minutes in. Now, 8 minutes in, they have 2 kills. There's just so much bloodbath in this. And just
yeah, a lot.
I'm not even sure this is
It's a bit
anymore.
different. It's a bit different from game 1 for sure. I do have to say that first one was probably the best game we've seen out of these 2 teams in the course of this tournament. But it's still not, you know, it's nothing too unusual here to see not too many kills happen at the start. They got the kill on the Lion. They killed Lion's Courier. Seen that before. Also get the tower and top.
Both of the teams are getting what they want from the laning stage. None of the cores are being shut down. The one having the least is going to be the Beastmaster, but not having the boots, it's really not going to be hindering his timing of the Helm of the Dominator, which just now comes out. They take 1 tower, they defend theirs. On the other hand, HYDRA, they want to be running in and out. For now, they've only been able to catch the Lion, but even that isn't that bad. You know, Asgold is the one getting kills. The faster you get the Maelstrom, the easier it will be to get some of these kills. HYDRA, they definitely want the chaotic game in this one, running around, making sure that the enemy isn't together. And Gambit, they're gonna be going for the first option. We all want to be the getter, and we want to force enemies into a fight. So I like that HYDRA are definitely dodging them right now, and they should do that even more so once the supports on Gambit have their ultis.
Well, looking at the items being built on HYDRA's side, there is the Maelstrom for the Wind Ranger. Going to fit in nicely with the Focus Fire. Kunkka's already very tanky, 1400 HP at level 7. Talking about balanced. Going for a Solar Crest. So if you think about the minus armor given for the PA, potential Deso with Solar Crest with the Swarm from the Weaver. Well, I don't know how long you're going to be living if you're a squishy, especially a Lion. We've seen a lot of Lions disappear in gameplay when a Wraith King suddenly pops on top of you with a Blink Dagger and hits you with a crit. So if this PA does the same thing with the Dagger, we might just see heroes suddenly disappear. Oracle's also kind of like a hero that has to be careful for the Phantom Assassin, especially later on during this game.
You can be close. And what I don't like this game is that Meliul is going for a straight up BKB. At least he has it queued. Okay, he will get the boots of travel. But I think Sanjin Kaya into a plate mail, and then you see if you want a Lotus Orb, if you want a Shiva's Guard. The reason for this is the Oracle provides you with magic immunity. You don't need to attack. The Fate's Edict is pretty much a BKB on you. And I'm not sure that he needs it. Oracle should be playing with him at all points. But coming back to your point about minus armor, we shouldn't forget about the natural order. Elder Titan, you take away the Morphling armor, and then you put him into a minus. He will pretty much die from one dagger from Dream. At some point in this game, it might not even need to be a crit. So it's gonna be a dangerous one for Gambit, but they need to start applying pressure now for that not to come their way.
That is true. Don't want to forget about the most important part, which we did discuss already in the draft, the Elder Titan. So I agree. Morphling might just seem like a piece of wet paper that just gets torn and ripped apart despite even touching it. Might just break on itself. Gotta be careful with that. Positive side, there's no silence, at least coming out from HYDRA through items or
they know Dream is here.
With the Admon for the Roar, he did. Could have used Stick for it. They're gonna be a bit late for this Phantom Assassin. Dream's already out. Gonna be lucky to live throughout this one, and Meliul might just get initiated on it, but they know that they're not gonna get the assistance of the PA, so they might just stack up in mid to defend Gambit. Death Prophet being targeted right now. Exorcism's on cooldown. The ulti comes out from Phantom, and the heal is gonna be there. And they are still sieging this tower. The catapult is still doing work, and Death Prophet, she's moving out. They're gonna sack the tower. 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes in. Mid-tier 1 gone.
This is the thing. This is why I was afraid for Gambit and the way they play. Their lineup doesn't work if they are on the defensive. It is a weird concept in Dota, but to play defensive heroes, you need to be on the offensive, you know? Okay, that's huge. A PA dead.
That's huge. So Gambit, despite they lose the tower in mid with that 4-man rotation, they knew the PA TP'd bottom, opened up an opportunity for the Lion and the DP to use Exorcism and get a kill. They did lose their bot tower. It's a deny by the Lion, but a kill on the PA, I think that's still pretty huge in terms of slowing her down.
Yeah, it is. It will delay the timing and allow you to be aggressive on the map, as I stated. So coming back to the point, the thing is, you want to be on the aggressive with this kind of a lineup. If you're using the false promise defensively, this means that HYDRA can run around the map, and they did kill the PA. Smiling Knight on top lane.
Well, Morphling does have the advantage of having Windrun for herself, so even Windranger is missing almost all of her right clicks through the focus fire. Thanks to that, Smiling Knight makes his way out.
So that bottom tower is gone, which means HYDRA now, they can overtake the bottom part of the map if they want to with the Weaver, especially Muka can be running around there just giving vision. And then the catch from Gambit before the Blink Dagger on the line, it's very limited. And HYDRA, they need to be using this timing to get more of the map. They don't need to get kills, but with just their presence, they need to get more of the map. So them allowing this Death Prophet to be so deep in without the Oracle being there is a slight mistake, but Meliul, he'll actually just get the wave out. This was a fast move and get himself out. A smart move from him, and Gambit now preparing for a smoke.
Smoking up indeed. Trying to make their way towards the top side jungle. They want to take some control for themselves there. They have the vision of the Hawks. Muka is sitting on a choke point, though. They better send in that Hawk, because that will also reveal the Weaver. And with that, the smoke has been detected. Gambit's going to be biting the dust with this one. HYDRA able to dodge the incoming smoke. Blizzy, he's got that solar crest. That is going to be a big provider for HYDRA when we're looking at the team fight, the big picture. How to nuke somebody down quickly. Extra minus armor provided, as already mentioned. So scary damage from HYDRA's side once they get ready.
Where were we?
Yeah, that is the way that that is the kind of damage that you want to have against the Oracle. You don't want slow damage. You want the burst damage that is gonna surprise him, right? Because if the false promise comes out and you've committed onto the Death Prophet, you could be in some trouble.
They found Zayats. That's not the target they want, but it's the target they're gonna have to take. The Spirit Siphon doesn't do enough. He's able to walk out of that one. PA is also going to live for that one. So that was really good from Zayats. He just walks into the spot to pop the smoke. And now they're going to use their own. Blizzy. Scouting up front. There is a Morphling in the triangle, so Blizzy's trying to take it cautiously. He's got a tree in between, but he sees the Morphling. Needs a good torrent timing here. And it's going to go out and right on the money with the Spirit there as well. The follow-up, the power, it's not enough damage. It's not enough damage. And now Afterlife, look at the turnaround. They got the Roar. The Oracle does also get the root onto the ET. Science gets cancelled. His TP is not going to go through. Aseu is going to be there. Smiling Knight picks up one. That's going to be going for Pantomim. Now Kunkka trying to keep the rest of the squad away. But there's nowhere to go. They're going to get fingered in the face by Aseu. And that is going to be 2 kills for Gambit. And Morphling lives.
I actually like the move from HYDRA. If they kind of were like, okay, we don't need this skill, we can just force some rotations. If they had used the torrent, both the power shot immediately ran out, it would be great, because that is what you want to do. You want Gambit to get together on their part of the map, and then they have to spread. On the bottom lane, though, the PA getting caught again.
It's a max range stun. That's worthy of a tip right there.
That was beautiful coming out from Seiyu. Really beautiful coming out from him. In Gambit, they are controlling the map well. They're still not hitting their timings right now, so they don't want to go super aggressive for the tier 2s, but they're controlling a bit more of the map. And HYDRA, it comes down to it. You need to poke and prod. You can't hope to get a kill. And this is what happens in Dota. When you can't get a kill, you might get a bit ahead of yourself a few times, and then because of it, pay with your life. First, they paid with their 2 heroes, and now it allowed for a great rotation from Gambit towards the bottom lane. Delaying this Battle Fury from Dream, it is a big thing. PA is one of those carries who wants to get there fast, because it just accelerates your farm so much. And 16 minutes in is not a good way to start, considering that Dream actually had a pretty decent laning stage.
Well, if there's one thing that Hairy Freak really likes, it is to poke and prod their opponents, as HYDRA still waiting for them to get theirs on. They do have that Battle Fury now up on the Phantom Assassin, so Dream's gonna get that farming shape on. Time for a true training montage for the Phantom Assassin. Nika takes away the Invis right in front of the Oracle. Has been gifted a bottle too, so gonna have that presence available. Phantom walks in, minus armor applied, but there's also Afterlife ready with the Roar, so Weaver doesn't want to stay around. Not for too long at least.
I really like the Inner Beast helping the supports deal with the bugs. Usually it's such a nuisance for the Oracle, just you need so much time to get rid of it, and with the Inner Beast it's really not a problem at all. HYDRA, they are playing on the top lane, but with these two, you just don't get kills, especially if the Oracle is in the vicinity. So they need to start finding things on the bottom part of the map. HYDRA, they need to push people back, and Seiyu is there staying. He has farmed this Blink Dagger, it seems like, and just needs to be delivered now.
Top lane still moving around the vicinity of the area. It's going to be Afterlife walking past the outpost. Nika does not have information on the Beastmaster, and now what I'm thinking about here for Gambit is they're gonna go for Roche. More than capable of taking it, but Weaver is prepared. Throws in the swarm. It connects on everybody else except for Roshan, so they don't even get the benefit of the minus armor on this big fella. HYDRA stacking around on the high ground. They've got the ET with the Conk of the Weaver. So they are going to cancel this Roshan attempt by Gambit, at least for now. They don't feel like they want to go in again, at least trying to get HYDRA on the move. I think that's what they're wanting to do right now.
I would actually like Gambit to commit for the Roche. I think that they are powerful enough. You use the exorcism. Maybe they're waiting for the BKB on Meliel just to be on the safe side. But I think if the Oracle is in a good position, if they walk into the Roche, HYDRA, even if they steal the Roche, let's say a perfect scenario for them, that exorcism destroys them, and there's no way that you can kill Meliel at this point. The PA is pretty much useless in a fight. If Dream comes in, he's most likely not going to be getting out of the fight, which will be disastrous. So Gambit, I would like them to force the issue a little bit. And coming back to the point of HYDRA staying on the top part of the map, it is mostly because of the Roche. I think this is the reason why they're not playing the bottom lane that much. They would like to, but they're just so afraid of Gambit taking the Roche. And I think brute forcing right now for Gambit is the way to go, just because of how powerful they are.
Yep. Well, Weaver ulti forced out by Pantheon. That was very lightweight there. Just one quick maxed out route from the Oracle, and you're already forcing out the time lapse. That's a 70-second cooldown. But HYDRA's still trying to maybe think about this bot lane for a bit. At least PA wants to farm this, but probably calling in for some backup. Science is right to be there because there are 2 hostiles. There's Meloyul, there's Seiyu. They do look for the kill on the PA. There's the Hex coming out with the stun finger used up as well, but the stomp's gonna be there. The Earth Splitter gonna connect as well, but the BKB used by Meloyul. They will get away, and Seiyu will fall on the Lion. Dream tried to jump in for a quick snatch of a kill.
Such a good idea coming out from Gambit, and then the greed from Meloyul not to go for the BKB. He knew that the TPs were coming. He knew that he would need to use the BKB either way. If he did there, the PA is just dead, and he gets stomped on. Because of it, Dream gets himself out, and will be surviving that one, which means a BKB will be ready, and with the next Exorcism, Gambit, they're just not gonna be as strong as they should be right now. You didn't use it for Roche. Immediately, HYDRA come here. Oh, maybe he TP'd towards the Roche, but that just wasn't the case. Gambit, again, just trying to go for pickoffs when just brute forcing. They're just so much stronger than HYDRA at this point, but not for long.
Gambit still without the Exorcism. They want to force this Roshan again. This time they might actually be able to do it because the bugs do fly inside the pit, and Roche is slowly starting to lose his armor.
Titan coming over.
Golem is also tanking it. Seiyu in front of the pit. Pantomime is ready for the save, ready for anything. Is he going to start charging up that root onto his allies? He could. Go another stomp into the pit, but they also spot a hero right in front of the stairs, and that's going to be a dead Weaver. Both from the Kunkka does connect onto the Lion, but it doesn't matter. The Kunkka is going to be unable to intercept. And Gambit, despite using their Exorcism in bot and losing that fight, they still get Roche for themselves, and that's 5 minutes of immortality for the Morphling.
That is the way to go. I don't know why Gambit didn't do this earlier. Like, just force HYDRA. Come at us if you dare. At this point, HYDRA, they can't fight. But the thing is, Dream, he is level 16. He has the BKB. That is usually when it comes out. And, of course, level 18 is going to be his biggest timing. The level 3 coup de grace is what you're waiting for. But Gambit, they can still force the issue. Now going with the multiple heroes towards the bottom lane, pushing for 2 towers, I think it's the way to go. You just have the sustain to do it.
Multiple smokes used as well for this one attempt here, and Zayats is the one to pop it once again. Afterlife is going to be in front. Pantomime is there. They found the Lion too, but that is actually the Kunkka, a much bigger target to focus on, and for them, they're happy with that. So they will let the ET walk away if they can take a Kunkka. Gambit's going to find something with that smoke.
And they will. HYDRA, a very smart movement. As soon as they saw the Kunkka being caught, as soon as they saw the smoke being broken, Zayats and the rest of the pack of HYDRA are going towards the top lane. But Gambit, they want to control the entirety of the map. This is a bit greedy for them, if I may say so. I think you have to force the issue. You have to go onto one lane and force HYDRA to fight you just by going onto the objectives. If the objectives aren't falling, your lineup really isn't doing its job. The top tower is probably the easiest, or is definitely the easiest tower to fall, but with the smoke from HYDRA, if the DP doesn't come over right now, it will be a good one. That Gambit, they're definitely not expecting.
She's got TP boots. She could teleport on top of the Granite Golem at least, but gotta time it perfectly because you don't want to land it accidentally on a creep or a boar that's about to expire. Radiant will use the scan. DP coming onto the next creep wave. That's the time lapse forced out with the E-Blade from Smiling Knight. And Gambit is here in full force. So is HYDRA. Which one takes the fight to themselves? Stomping the wave. Backdoor protection still up. Now it finally gets taken off. Morphling half HP. Blizzy walks in for the Tidebringer. Very soft damage. Morphling has 40 armor. I repeat, he has 40 armor, so he's very hard to kill.
That was a really good back from HYDRA. They came in, they saw that they couldn't attack from the side. The second their smoke got broken, I thought they were gonna disperse the exact same second, but they were kind of poking there, thinking, is the DP gonna come? As soon as they saw Meloyul, they got themselves out. There is just no way that you're winning the fight right now. The only question is, have HYDRA created enough space, and can the PA carry this game? I think if Gambit just itemized for the PA, just go into armor items right now, it's not gonna be a problem. Or just focus on the PA in the mid game. No Afterlife, he gets a blink now, maybe get a refresher or something along those lines, and make sure that the PA is always roared. That is gonna be the way to go. You have one hero that you're afraid of,
they're going
and
on the
it's
Weaver.
definitely the PA.
They're all targeting their way towards the Weaver, but he time lapses away into the silence of Meloyul, right into the arms of the DP. Meloyul, does he get this kill? Oh, a finger from Seiyu is going to be there. So they do get themselves another stack for Fingers of Death, and now Dream is also spotted in the bot lane by Gambit. And now Knight on the chase. Quick jump onto Zayats, but he's also turned into a sneaky assassin. Blurred up on the hunt, looking for the prey, and that's going to be Zayats. The jump comes out, and that is a very dead Elder Titan.
Yeah, you gotta be like water, my friend, and Smiling Knight, he knows how to do it, especially on the Morphling. Kunkka being caught, Blizzy having DX is gonna be fine, but Gambit, I think they're understanding their strength right now. Taking the control of the enemy triangle, that allows you to control the 2 lanes. You cut the waves on the bot, you cut the waves in the mid, and pretty much the Oracle can always be relatively close, and the enemies have to keep guessing, is he more towards the bottom lane or towards the mid lane? And then Hydra, that's why they're moving towards the top part of the map. With the Aegis expiring though, they might go for a smoke. Do they have the Deso on the PA? They will have it soon. That's the timing that you kind of want to hit and surprise the Morphling. Run in with Zayats, make sure he doesn't have armor, and hope that you get that one hit onto the Morphling.
Weaver's holding onto his courier inside the trees. Does look like Weaver wants to buy that first piece towards the Aghanims. That provides Hydra with the save against the nuke from the Morphling. So a well-timed Weaver ulti might just be a backfire for Gambit, because they are also relying on deleting a quick hero with that shotgun provided by the Morphling. So things might change very rapidly. And they smoke up. And that is without, I do want to say, that was the first part towards the Ag, so they don't have it, not by a mile. Windranger going for a Linken's, PA going for a Linken's. Some kills could help their way towards it. Double couriers moving in. That's a blink for the Oracle on the courier too. He's gonna get it.
Yeah, he needs to get it, but someone needs to be on the left. No one is protecting the Oracle. He's the one that is going to be caught first.
Nice scan. They spotted him. They see exactly what's going on. The Ops Ward is there. The Morphling's going to be found, but the Hawk does fly in. Zayats, he's got that stop, but he was expecting them to jump in, and they don't. The Hex comes out, and now they go in. But the BKB dropped by Dream. He's slowly removing the line. The BKB popped by the Melville as well, and Blizzy. They will take down the ET, but now hiding into the trees as Hydra. Gambit's chasing them away with the Exorcism, and Blizzy trying to go for the TP out. Will be able to. Ascol still holding onto his BKB. He didn't use it. And Gambit gets themselves 2 kills as Weaver and PA and Kunkka are able to run away. But Gambit, they lose 1 and take 2.
I actually saw Meliel there blink out. I actually wanted him to stay in the fight. With the Oracle being in a good position there, they actually wanted to go for the Death Prophet, but probably would have ended up even worse for them. And they walk into the high ground.
Oh, nice blink roar connecting as well. They do find themselves that Weaver. Samuka's down. No, without Ascol for another 20 seconds. Despite all of that minus armor you have, it's not quite ready yet for the Phantom Assassins. So Smiling Knight gonna take rid of that tier 3 tower. Blizzy gonna tank another adaptive strike. E-Blade is ready in 1 second, and he wants to use it. Onto the ET. Nice jumps there, back and forth, but Smiling Knight able to bring himself back to safety. Melloyul, no exorcism now, but still, even if there isn't, they've already dealt the damage inside the base. They've got rid of the melee, they've got rid of the Ranger Axe. And that is 27 minutes with the first super creeps now pushing into the base of Hydra.
That bottom fight went so well for Gambit, but it looked dangerous for them for a second as well. Can you see me draw on the map? I can't even draw on the map.
We can't draw anymore, unfortunately.
That's anyways, the Oracle was the last one in the back. You need to keep the Beastmaster, the Lion. It doesn't matter who, onto the left, and then the Oracle hidden in the trees. That's what you want to do. But Pentomem, he was just in the last spot all behind his team, which means a wraparound will catch him. It was good that they actually brought the DP. She was the one breaking the smoke, blinking out, and then from that point onward, it was Pentomem just keeping himself hidden in the trees. So for a second, it did look dangerous. If he dies there on the Oracle, the PA can commit onto the Morphling, onto the DP, whoever he wants, and he can actually get the kill.
For Hydra right now, I think a moment ago would have been an opportunity to take the fight when their heroes respawn, but Exorcism is back off cooldown again on the DP. And it's going to be difficult to take this approach once again. Seiyu does get the stun on the Kunkka, but Smiling Knight's a bit too far away to throw in any damage. Roshan, 2 minutes, 8 seconds. Doesn't matter right now because both teams are up and running. Blizzy trying to cut that mid wave desperately so that Gambit doesn't take that tier 2 tower. So slowing them down a little bit. Very important that he is doing this. And now Muka, he's trying to do the same thing, but I fear he's going to get caught. Yeah. Silence into Roar, into Hex.
Your fears are gonna be justified, and they even found Blizz as well.
Ascot, they've got to try to go for a turnaround. Weaver coming up with the Bible. Ascot using his BKB now. Tries to get the kill on the Beastmaster, but he's not taking any damage. That Maelstrom is also being sucked up by Oracle using her save. Or his save in this case, as they force out the buyback from the Weaver, and they're happy to reset.
The thing is, in this game, cooldowns, they pretty much mean nothing. It's all about positioning. The only cooldown that is very important is, of course, the false promise for the Oracle, but Patomim is not going to be using that one without a really good reason. So Gambit, they have the Beastmaster. This is why they are the ones winning this game. If positioning is what matters, and you have pretty much the best vision hero in the game, it's a problem, and they go for a smoke.
Gambit. Oh, the blink from Meluyul finds Sayats. The silence still not used by Meluyul, not needed. Stun comes out from Seiyu. They see Muka. Ascot on the side. Needs 20 seconds for his BKB, but they have to give away the ET. He is a squishy in this case and just gets removed. As we look at the Morphling, he's 5-0-6.
Yeah, the reason I like this Blink Dagger on DP so much is because you saw Seiyu, he doesn't want to commit. None of these supports, pretty much none of the heroes on the side of Gambit, they don't want to commit. You want to keep your formation. If the formation is good on the side of Gambit, it cannot be broken. Something like 300, you know, that movie. And you just want to have someone in front and then the guys in the back protecting you. That is how you want to play.
More. The silence is going to be there with the finger and the stun and a quick removal of the Weaver. So that's going to open up Gambit to take this mid tower. Waves pushed in, hero killed. They're happy to take this one. And Roche has just respawned as well. That's going to be the Shard Aegis.
And that is a no buyback Weaver. That is a problem, which means you can't fight Roche, and once Gambit get to the high ground, you're just gone. HYDRA, they need to catch him when they're coming to their base. That is when it's dangerous for Gambit. As I said, this is why I like the Blink Dagger on the DP, so when you go for smokes, the one that jumps in is gonna be Meluyul. He's the one that wants to soak up all the damage, right? So you need to catch them outside of the base. If Gambit gets to the base of HYDRA without being caught, if they're positioned well, it is straight up over. There is no way that HYDRA win a fight, unless, let's say, the Oracle sleeps and then the DP gets brought down. But they give the Aegis to the Morphling, which means that the DP will definitely be the target of the false promise. This is just way too easy right now for the side of Gambit.
This is a very different Gambit as well from the last game. This time they never let go of their pressure and they kept up the whole time. They didn't want to give HYDRA anything extra. And HYDRA down to 4 kills. This is the probably, I mean, this is none taken away from Gambit here in game 2, but this is the least active HYDRA I've seen in the last 5 weeks. Only 4 kills, being pressured inside their base, completely disarmed right now. As I say that, they try to jump the Morphling, but there's the Roar. Ascot in trouble, gets pushed away to safety. They do use 2 ultis, and that's actually an opening here, possibly for HYDRA. They can just get something and capitalize on those ultis being on cooldown, but it's so hard because that Aegis Morphling just refuses to give in.
He's pretty much not taking any damage when you account for the Oracle heals, just going in, and even without the Roar, they should be completely fine to continue with the push.
Yeah, nice dodge on the stomp as well. Smiling Knight still holding his ground. 23,000 net worth almost as well on this fella. Pretty tanky boy, but the wraparound from the back. Meluyul, he was ready for it, but there's a 3-man. Nice 3-man silence from the DP on all of them. And Sayats is down inside the base, and Gambit's instantly turning their attention towards them. Look at that. Their circle shot does connect onto the Lion. They're trying to get rid of one of them, but there is save from Pantomime again.
They're trying to find the Oracle.
They can't. They just simply can't. And HYDRA's losing heroes back and forth. Afterlife is low, but he's not dying yet. And Dream, he walks on the high ground with the spider legs. Oh boy, HYDRA getting fully outplayed, step after step after step. That's pretty much game over, and we are going through a third at the pace of the looks of this one. And the GG well played does come out from Sayats. Gambit giving no mercy for HYDRA. That was their motto for this game.
This is one of those situations where the Oracle, he pretty much could be in his base and they're gonna win the fight. Why? Because the PA, she knows that they can't do anything if he's alive, and he just stays hidden while his team is doing everything. He just stays at the exact same spot he was when they were pushing high ground. He doesn't move an inch, and then he comes over when all of them are dead, just to show his face, to show the PA how untouchable he is. Just beautiful played by Gambit overall, especially in the last few fights. I still think they could have been more aggressive at some point, but how much do you think are they gonna be making fun of Seiyu? Like 4 kills, okay, we have 4 heroes dead. No, it's actually just one guy dying 4 times. Who is it? And I think that's a pretty fun thing for them to do right now.
Yep, 4 players in their team who haven't died a single time. So yeah, it was. I don't think they're going to be making fun of him. I think they're going to be praising him as the god who sacrificed himself so the rest of the team could live. So he is definitely being held into the halls of their ancestors and being welcomed into, who knows, maybe Valhalla, maybe somewhere else. But still, Gambit's succeeding in this game very convincingly. Brings this series to a tie, 1-1, and I stand behind my words. That was a very lackluster and very passive HYDRA that we saw in this game, because there was nothing that they could really do here, Harry.
This is the HYDRA that I mentioned a few times, guys that like to pick heroes that are too hard to execute. This draft, it has an idea behind it, but the idea for the idea to work, we have to be 30 times better than our opponents. In game number 1, I think Gambit proved that the gap between the two teams isn't that high, and HYDRA, they just couldn't find the openings. And also with Gambit being on the Radiant side and having Roche open at all points, HYDRA couldn't even play their lineup to the full potential. So I think it's overall gonna be a very, very normal draft for HYDRA in game number 3, because they need this win if they want to go to the Division 1.
Exactly true. I do want to highlight, and I do want to repeat that again. HYDRA needs this win. If they don't, there's a high chance that CIS Rejects might just run away to take that second spot into the first division, as we only have 2 series remaining for both of these teams. This one is the currently played one out of those 2, and CIS Rejects going to be playing up right after this one in their second one. So what's going to happen down with that? We have to go all the way through the distance and find out in game number 3, does HYDRA still have the will to fight back?